Okay, we're good to go. All right, at this time, we're going to call cause number G222, which is the guardianship of Patrick Liam Basham, a proposed incapacitated person. We have before us an application for appointment of the permanent guardian of the person only. And I have Mr. Straub as our ad litem today. Mr. Straub, I see your report with the court. Thank you. Ms. Pratt, go ahead. Call your first witness, ma'am.
Judge, I'll have one witness today, Allison Basham.
All right, Ms. Basham, I ask you to raise your right hand. In the testimony you're now about to give before this court, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you so much, Ms. Basham. Your witness, ma'am.
Are you Allison Basham?
Yes.
And have you made application for the guardianship of the person of Patrick Basham?
Yes.
Is it correct that we've looked into alternatives and supports and services to avoid the guardianship, but none of those are feasible?
Correct.
Is the proposed ward a male who is 18 years old, having been born in April of 2003?
Yes.
Does he currently reside in Whitney Hill County, Texas?
Yes.
Are the last three numbers of his social 554?
Yes.
Is it correct he does not have a driver's license?
Correct.
Is it also correct he's not currently under a guardianship?
Correct.
Is it correct that he is currently under your care and custody
Yes, ma'am.
and that nobody holds a power of attorney signed by him?
No.
Does he have relatives, including a father and two brothers?
Yes.
And did all of those people sign a waiver in this case?
Yes.
And are you the proposed ward's mother?
Yes.
Are the last three of your social 792 and the last three of your driver's license 152?
Yes.
Are you asking the judge today to appoint you as guardian of the person of the proposed ward?
Yes.
Is it correct you've never been convicted of a felony?
That's correct.
And is the proposed ward incapacitated? Well, could you tell the judge a little bit about the nature of his incapacitation?
He is on the autism spectrum. We also have ADD, ADHD. We have a developmental delay and a recent seizure disorder that requires daily medication that has to be given twice a day.
Is it correct that the severity of his incapacity is total and he does not have the ability to make decisions on business, financial, personal, or medical matters?
Correct.
And is it correct that he cannot manage his estate, operate a motor vehicle, or vote in a public election?
Right.
Will you be the person to see to all of his personal and physical needs?
Yes.
And are you asking for all the powers pursuant to the Texas Estate Code for a guardian?
Yes.
Particularly the medical, because you have to make those decisions for him and give him his medicine.
Right.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Mr. Straub, your witness.
Ma'am,
Yes.
your attorney has been very thorough
Mhm.
in asking you all these questions. And I know we've talked about there's going to be certain responsibilities you're going to have as the guardian, and you've only had moral responsibilities towards your child at this point as an adult. You're going to have legal responsibilities. Are you going to comply with all the instructions from your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I know you've already said this, but like we talked about, the supports and services, as Ms. Pratt alluded to, are things like powers of attorney, supported decision-making. We've talked about your son simply cannot do those, right?
That's right.
And you think it is in his best interest that a guardian be appointed, correct?
That's correct.
And you think that's in his best interest that you are the one that is appointed guardian, right?
Yes.
And I know we talked via FaceTime. He loves you, obviously. You have a very good relationship, and you're consulting with him on things to the extent that he has some ability to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I have no further questions past the witness.
All right, thank you so much. Any further witnesses, Ms. Pratt?
No.
Okay. Now we talk to Patrick for just a second. You think you'll be able to communicate with us?
Have you scooch up?
Oh, yeah.
Come here, give me that.
Hey, Patrick.
Talk to you for a second. Scooch on up. There we go. All right, listen carefully, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Patrick, I'm Judge Lewis. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
You know what we're doing here today?
No.
Okay. Well, what we're doing is trying to get it where your mom can give you some help going forward. Is it okay if your mom helps you?
No. No, I mean,
You've got
yeah.
quite the sense of humor. Okay. Well, thank you. That's what I needed to know, Patrick. You enjoy living with your mom?
Yes.
And she's good to you, isn't she?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, she is. And I love her.
And I love you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's great. All right. In which case then the court's going to grant your application and we will agree that Mr. Patrick Liam Basham needs a guardian and that guardian shall be of the person and that person will be Allison Rebecca Basham, our applicant today. We will have to put a de minimis bond on this particular matter. Kara, come up with something creative so it doesn't hurt anybody in the pocketbook, okay?
Maybe 500.
Sounds great.
Your Honor, would the court be okay with a personal surety?
In this particular matter, the court would be, yes.
I think we're just going to do a cash bond.
Fine, if you guys are good with that. Okay, wonderful. All right, court.
Also on the page 3,
Yes,
the last sentence, it's further order that the court costs for this guardianship be paid by the county treasury. I think you can mark that out.
I think so too. Yeah, those nice people over at Westlaw aren't doing a real good job of catching that. Okay,
And then on page 4, I need an amount that she can spend monthly for the award.
well, let's talk about that since we don't have a guardianship of the estate on this particular matter. I suspect that Mr. Patrick gets Social Security disability and she's a
No,
Social
sir.
Security. No, he does not.
No,
So you're not Social Security payee at this time?
no, sir.
Oh, okay.
It's not something we've ever applied for. We were told to wait till he turns 18.
Okay.
So once this is done, then that was our next step. But no, we've always taken care of him ourselves.
Okay, well, I guess, go ahead, Mr. Straub.
Mrs. Basham,
Yes,
I know we've talked about this being a guardianship of the person only.
Mhm.
There are no other assets your son has, right?
he has a savings account that I'm custodian of that he's had since he was a baby that's got, I think, $800 in it.
Okay, and is that a UTEMA account that you are the custodian of the uniform?
Transfer to Minors Act, yes.
Okay, so that would be
Yeah.
outside of a guardianship estate anyway.
Correct. What everybody's trying to do here, Ms. Basham, is this: we don't want you to have a guardianship of the person for such a de minimis amount. There's a whole lot of expense and extra time and trouble that goes along with that. The
Okay.
guardianship of the person can be good enough. Guardianship of the state sometimes is a bridge too far. So I'm sure your attorney will help you find a way where we can avoid going down the route of having a guardianship of the person. So without the guardianship, avoid having a guardianship of the estate. Again,
Okay.
not enough caffeine this morning. I apologize. Just my wife's not letting me drink coffee like she used to. So anyway, everything's said and done. What Mr. Straub is getting at as well is there's certain steps that one can take with their attorney that would avoid the need for guardianship of the estate, which would be very costly. And in this particular matter, I've heard no evidence that lead me to believe that it would be necessary to have one at this time.
Okay.
So you guys figure out how you want to do that. But
I would say, she can expend $2,000 per month because I don't think his disability will be, if he does ever get it, more than that. And so
Well-
it covers.
I agree. I'm going to say, though, without the guardianship of the estate, that there's no authority in the code for me to tell you how much she can and can't spend out of her own pocket.
Well, yeah, but this is to expend from the corpus of his estate.
Mr. Straub, go ahead.
What I guess what my thought is Ms. Basham, and I know I maybe you already control the $800 as his custodian under UTEMA.
Mhm.
So you have the authority to expend as much of that money already as you think is prudent for him.
Okay,
And once you get, and that's outside of the guardianship court, if that makes sense.
right.
And then if you receive Social Security as the representative payee for him,
Mhm.
you will have a separate audit process through the Social Security Administration. And they will approve your expenditures. You will present a budget to them, is my understanding. And that budget does not need to be approved by the guardianship court because I know it's kind of tricky and it sounds misleading. As a guardian of the person, I know your attorneys explained this to you, you can also handle all the Social Security income
Correct.
without having to get a guardianship of the estate.
And I will tell you, the court's hesitancy to put any number in that bracket whatsoever is because some future party could look at that and let's say you hit the lottery and decide that's not enough. the court doesn't want to limit your ability. Since there's no requirement for the court to speak on the matter, I'd rather stay silent unless you knew of some mitigating circumstance that required me to do something at this time.
Nope, you can put, strike out that whole paragraph or just put not applicable NA and that.
I'll let you modify it and send it back to me.
Jacob's already signed it.
Well, his signature's not that.
You
Sorry.
can sign by permission, Ms. Pratt, and Your Honor, I guess as a housekeeping matter, Ms. Pratt's client has already directly tendered me the $500 ad litem fee. So
we'll
I do
strike
not,
that one.
I know
Okay.
they've consented to the reasonableness of that fee as the capitated rate. And I'm
Okay.
not submitting a fee affidavit because there does not need to be any funds released from the registry in this matter.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right.
Yeah, I
Anything
can get you a
further?
new order.
All right, thank you. I'll be around the rest of the day. I've got a civil hearing after this, so if you shoot it over, we'll get it knocked out today.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Pratt.
Hey.
Yes, sir, Mr. Patrick, what you got?
Did you say that I was, did you say that I was, 18?
Yes, sir, you're 18 years of age?
What?
Are you 18 years of age?
What does he mean,
That means, are you 18 years old?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. All right, Patrick. Well, it's nice to meet you today. If I can ever do anything for you, please let me know, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Pleasure to meet you all. All right, we are dismissed. Mr. Straub, you are discharged.